Why ice and water shield on your roof? Because I said so, and it'll keep it from leaking. Seriously though, ice shield is a thick, water-resistant underlayment that seals around the nails that get put into your roof and creates a tighter seal than without it. And minimum code requires ice and water shield in most places, so check your codes. Also note that there are cheap versions of ice shield and there are expensive versions of ice shield. So they're not all the same. And here's where they should be installed on your roof. And I will go through each one of these and explain to you why. Number one, eaves. Here's why. They protect from ice damming. It's probably the most important place you can put ice shield. It's basically where all the water runs. So you're getting a lot of action at the bottom of the roof. You know, at the top of the roof, not so much, because a little bit of water is running on the top. By the time it catches all that volume of water, it's all going down to the bottom of the roof. It's all going down there, and it can ice up because most people's homes have an overhang, eave overhang, which is outside of the building. And that is a different temperature because it's cold underneath and cold above. So you have living space above that, which kind of heats up. It melts the stuff. It hits the bottom of the roof where it's colder. It freezes up and it backs up, backs up, backs up. That's ice damming. So then the ice goes up underneath the shingle, pushes up underneath there, gets it to the nail. And then once that melts, it creates a little pool underneath the shingle, pushes the water into the nail, and you've got an ice dam. So you want to have ice shield at the eaves of every freaking job you have installed. Number two, rakes. Why on the rakes? Well, it's really because
you want to make sure there's proper nailing.
Other than that, you really don't need to worry about overhangs or rakes being an issue or ice damming. I've never seen a rake ice dam. It's more to protect the fact that you might have crappy, shitty installers. So number three, valley areas. It's where all the water, here's a valley on your roof. It's where all the water runs and accumulates and then runs down this center channel off to the edge of the roof. This is the edge of the roof. It's important because you got a lot of water going in there and you've got a lot of nails kind of in that area. So they want to get sealed up, because what can happen here also is in a valley, it can start to back up and get ice damming, and all in here can create leaks down inside the house. And it's not the spot you want to leak. Where else? Step flashing. You should have ice shield going up. Let's just say this is the wall. Ice shield be going up the wall and onto the roof portion where the shingles would be. So the shingles will be here and this will be the wall. It's important that you roll this up the wall just in case one of these step flashing fails over time. You've got the paper under it and it seals the nail. Again, this is all about sealing those nails in spots that are more likely to leak than not. Number five, hips.
These are not the hips I'm talking about.
Hip of the roof. You know, you might have a roof like this, and then the shingles are running here, shingles are running here, here, and there's a cap shingle that goes atop to cover this gap. I like to see ice shield right there. Not over top of the shingles, but on the roof deck itself. And then the shingles go on top and then the hips. Reason is, some guys, they nail these hips real close to the end. Let's say this is a cap shingle, hip shingle. They nail these shingles right close to the end and water can blow up in there. Also, sometimes this is a pretty easy place for blow-ups to occur. With wind blowing up a roof line and lifting these shingles up and ripping them off.
Number six.
Pipe collars, roof vents, whatever you got on the roof, you know, they need to be covered with some ice shield. I don't care if it's just around it, around the base of it, and then around the pipe, but they all have to be ice shielded out. Same thing happens. A lot of leaks occur there wherever there's a pipe collar or a vent, and you just want to really make sure that they have ice shield underneath there for proper nailing, and also in case ice or any wind blows through there, it'll catch it. It's a little more protection and a little more peace of mind. Skylights. Most skylights manufacturers really void your warranty or don't give the length of the warranty for the skylight. So some of them have the ice shield that comes with the skylight and some of them don't. But either way, there's got to be ice shield around a skylight. Same thing, it's like a step flashing area around it, and then they have a pan in the front, a pan in the front, a pan in the back. You know, it just needs to be ice shielded out. One last thing, different roofs have different pitches. So if you are anywhere between a 2 and a 3 pitch, they need ice shield on the entire surface, in my opinion. Now, there's some other thoughts about this. Some manufacturers suggest you don't need to do that. You just double up their synthetics, and they're okay with that. I just don't. I don't believe in that. I believe that ice shield should be on there. The 2 and the 3 pitch is pretty low. Now, what is a pitch? So, my bad. I didn't explain what a pitch is. So, a pitch is, the lower the pitch number, the flatter the roof. So, a 2 and a 3 are pretty much the lowest you can put shingles on. And I really, depending on your situation, potentially would avoid even on a 2 pitch putting this. So, what you're going to get out of a 2 and a 3 pitch is probably 18 years. With the shingles, and then in my opinion, that's it. You're gonna start getting leaks somewhere in that 18 to 20 range. You're gonna have to rip that roof off. It doesn't last forever, especially if you got guys that don't nail right, and that's an even bigger issue. But anyway, you've got 1 pitch, and that's a flat roof, and that should have like an EPDM or low slope torch down, TPO, some type of flat material on it. And even up to like the 2, 2.5, I would think you would probably want to do this. But most people have their home. They don't want to put that on there because it looks ugly. And if you can see it almost just a little bit, if you can see it, it's kind of ugly. So people like to put shingles on there. But just note, it's probably not going to last as long as if you put a flat roofing material. You got something flat, the water doesn't run off as fast. So it kind of sits there, and then it kind of wants to sometimes push back into those shingles and then find those nails. So that's why ice shield is important there. Because remember, ice shield seals around those nails and allows, it takes it longer when the water does come through that nail. It goes and works its way underneath the shingle layer and between the ice shield and runs its way down the roof. And as it's running down its roof, it's got little nails everywhere. So it's kind of, they're all sealed too, so it's just making its way back out, all the way down the roof. As opposed to if you have felt in there, it doesn't really seal around the nail, and then it's got to run, and it might hit another nail, and then it might go through that one. So, just a nightmare. Here's what you need to ask your contractors. If you've got somebody in front of you, where do you apply the ice shields? And we went over that. Eaves, rakes, valleys, flashing areas, chimneys, pipe collars, vents. You've got hips, and you got low slopes. So all those, I think there's 8 that I mentioned. You're going to really want to have that answer from the contractor that they're doing all of those in those areas. And make sure that they're not using just a low-end ice shield. And that's not approved by the manufacturers, so that you can get these warranties that you need to protect yourself. Anyway, that's it. That's the quick version of ice shield, and I'm in the woods because I didn't feel like doing this in my house behind the screens. I did that already, so I'm in the woods, man.